welcome to Trashy Trashy, where we take a dumpster dive on this week's garbage people and look at all the trashiest news stories. My name is Erica, and I am your host.
My name is Cassandra, and I'm your other host. My goodness, we made it.
Oh, looks like we made it.
Got through if you're in America, the Thanksgiving holidays. Those are now officially behind us. And all I got was this lousy t-shirt.
All I got was 4 pounds heavier and into a conversation about pronouns, I'm sure, at a gathering. Who knows? Who knows?
Man, that's rough.
No, honestly, I just I took a little CBD before Thanksgiving dinner.
Uh-huh.
A little just kind of vibed my way through it. If somebody said the sky is purple, I said, sounds good to me. Sounds like it is. The best.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it's just it was the best Thanksgiving ever because I just said, I'm just not going to argue with nobody. I'm just going to listen. Whatever they say is fine. I'm just going to be mellow as shit.
Choose your battles,
Yeah. How was yours?
It was good. I made a green bean casserole from New York Times recipe, which by someone at Thanksgiving, they said, oh, that website's for communists. And similar to what you did, I was like, okay, yep. Sounds good. And but honestly, like by the time I was done with the recipe, it's green bean casserole. If you're making it typically is some kind of combination of green beans and cream of mushroom soup with like fried onion bits on top. So I thought, well, I'm going to make this vegan version for myself. And it's going to be the New York Times recipe. So it's going to taste better because New York Times recipes are great. Honestly, by the end of making it, I was like, okay, so I just had to steam green beans and cut them, steam fresh green beans and cut them so that they could appear to be like canned green beans. And then all I did was just make my own cream and mushroom soup. So I was like, maybe this is for communists because this was kind of stupid. Like there was nothing special about that recipe other than it was more fucking work.
So isn't that the special part?
Yeah, but yeah, I guess. I don't know. I was kind of missing the preservatives that come in a Campbell's cream of mushroom soup. So well.
I made a sopapilla cheesecake, which is just crescent rolls, cream cheese, sugar, cinnamon, and then a layer of crescent roll on top and some cinnamon and sugar on top. But it's a baking recipe.
Sure.
And there's not a lot of room for improvising. Baking. And I'd made it before. It used to be like one of my specialties. I made all the time. And so I just was like, I'll wing it. And then like halfway through, I looked up a recipe and I was like, yeah, I'm fully improvising some of this. I added too much sugar. I put ingredients in at the wrong time. I was mixing wets and dries and wet. You couldn't tell me what to do. It was Julia Childs would have had a heart attack if she'd have watched me make this sopapilla cheesecake. But you know what it was? Damn delicious.
Yeah.
Damn delicious. Yeah. But I just kind of realized you can't really improvise a lot in baking.
Sopapilla, this is a thing that white people made up, or is this authentic? I'm not sure. My experience with them, if you've ever watched South Park or you live in Denver, you know what I'm talking about. My experience with sopapillas exclusively occurred at Casa Bonita growing up. Okay. And so they bring you like sopapillas that you kind of rip the top off and you fill with honey. And I've never had them anywhere else. I feel like, I've had times in my life where I've thought, I wonder if this place has sopapillas, and then I will order them, and then I look like I'm an idiot. So this is actually the first time you saying sopapilla cheesecake's the first time I've heard of this for a long time.
The Tex-Mex cuisine. But it is sopapilla is a fried pastry and a quick bread served in several regions with Spanish heritage in the Americas. Okay. It is from the Spanish, that word entered Spanish from the Mozambique language. It comes from some of the German sopa, which means bread soaked in liquid. Basically, it's fried dough with sugar and cinnamon. If you haven't had a sopapilla, get yourself to a Tex-Mex restaurant and say, please. It's like sopapillas come with the meal in Tex-Mex. It's the given dessert. There's no, we'd like to also order sopapillas. It's going to come out. Do you want one or not? So it's kind of I grew up with them, I guess. Yeah.
I didn't realize that Casa Bonita was Tex-Mex, but it must be because that was my experience. Is that they come at the end, and that's the dessert, and you can order some fried ice cream if you need it, but
oh God, a fried ice cream on top. Mwah.
Wow. Why are you trash before we get too deep into food talk? Although I'm going to tell you now, spoiler alert, mine vaguely has to do with food.
Well, mine has to do with consuming something. So we went to Oklahoma from California for Thanksgiving, and I take a lot of vitamins and supplements and pills. I got my pills to keep me healthy. I got my vitamins because I think they do something. I don't know, TBD. What I was hitting up against was a wall of time on my way to leave. And so normally what I do is I have a little pill counter where I say, okay, this is the 11 vitamins and pills I take in the morning. And then this is the 6 or 7 I take. And, I normally divide those all up. Well, time was of the essence. And what I ended up doing was I just had 2 Ziploc baggies. One that said day, one that said night. Because you can't take the entire box. There's too many, there'd be no room if I tried to take all the bottles of pills. So I just counted out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, drop in the day. So I flew with just 2 Ziploc baggies in Sharpie,
loose pills,
day and night of loose pills. And when someone's like, you make a nice living. I don't understand this. Why are you living this way? He gave me so much. So anytime I had to whip him out, to take a breakfast or something, he'd be like, God damn it, I can't believe you just have day pills. What are you going to tell the TSA if they stop you? Excuse me, sir, those are my night pills. Do you have a prescription for these? It was just so trashy. Just literally day. I'll post a picture on our Instagram. Day, night. And I would have to count out though, because all the pills look different. So I have to go, let's see. Okay, a pink. Okay, I haven't had my blue today. And just sorting through them took me like 20 minutes. Whereas if I'd just taken the time before I left to just put them in a pill counter. Oh well. Anyway, it was a high trash, like high treason. It was high trash. But yeah,
that is how I travel. Is loose bags of pills. Just by like trash recognizes trash. That is how I travel. I put the more plastic coated guys together. If any of them are kind of powdery and gross, I'll give them their own bag. And my kombucha bears get their own bag usually, unless I'm in a pinch, in which case I'll put them with the plastic ones. And it's just loose pills. Loose pills. I don't even label them. No, I don't even label them day or night. I just kind of like, because there's only one that I take twice a day. Yeah. So yeah. I am always just loose pills. I've thought about buying one of those little things. They're like $1.
So cheap. It's so cheap.
Like crazy cheap to own one of those pill things. But
doesn't it just somehow feel high class to see somebody take out a day, a thing organized by nighttime, daytime, and the specific day?
Nothing feels high class about this. There's something that feels geriatric about that.
Maybe that's what it is. I think old people are classy just because they've lived longer. That's
no. It doesn't. I almost I think that my loose pills are keeping me young.
Because the counting, you have to do so much counting.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it's stupid. Yeah. I take I take turmeric vitamins. I have to take 2 of those per day. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And just putting them all in. But I don't care. Loose pills.
Why are you trash?
So Trader Joe's has treats right now. Okay, they've got they said Thanksgiving pumpkin stuff. Get the fuck out of here. Get. You see the door? Get the fuck out of here. It's peppermint time, bitch. It's Christmas. So I was there shopping for, this is like a couple hours ago. I was shopping and had to pick up some stuff for tonight. And I was like, well, I got to get some treats. There's some unfamiliar cookies and treats here. there's a few things that they have that are off limits because I know I can't stop. But I was like, well, I don't know if I can stop or not with these new ones. I best try. So I guess this is a two-parter. Part one is I bought some treats that, let me go chronological.
Yeah.
Part one, I'm at the checkout counter, and it's got to be in the Trader Joe's handbook that the people who work at Trader Joe's have to hold a conversation with you. They have to like chit chat.
Yeah.
And I have a little bit of social anxiety, you know, just a dash of it. I'm not huge fan of small talk. Really don't like it. Even when I was waiting tables, I was like, I don't have regulars. I don't know these people's names. That's not how I make my money, you know? But these Trader Joe's people, they have to do it. And so like I sit there and I chit chat and I feel to myself, wow, I'm really helping them right now. I am doing something charitable because when their boss walks by, they're going to see this person engaged in a conversation. Like I'm not going to be on my phone. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to say, yep, just went to Arizona and then we went to San Diego and a lot of family, almost too much family, you know what I'm saying? Ha ha ha, whatever. I honestly should be eligible for sainthood because I'm like, wow, I'm really, really helping these people out by talking to them. In reality, probably not helping them out at all, probably just annoying them. So that's part one. Part two, as I took my high and mighty ass to my car, I couldn't wait to get home to bust into some treats, right?
Of course.
Couldn't even be bothered to turn on the car, turn on the air. Nothing before I had to get into those treats. Like car door close, into the treats. In them.
I wouldn't expect it any other way.
Yeah. What do you want me to do? You want me to turn my car on in the air? Like, why? So because then someone's going to try to come take my spot? Fuck that. They need to wait because I'm getting treats.
I love it. I love it. It reminds me of something that would happen like in an old-timey sitcom or something.
Oh, what's your favorite old-timey sitcom? Old-timey, LOL. This isn't like Dick Van Dyke. What's your favorite sitcom, Erica?
My goodness, that's such a hard question. I feel like I've watched New Girl so many times.
Yes. I think that might be my favorite too because I've watched it so many times that I'm like, I do love it. But I'm like, I must really love this because I've watched it so many times. The only thing I've watched almost as many times as New Girl is Friends.
Oh, well, speaking of that, in our next story from yahoo.com, a woman was stuck behind a sofa and had to call the fire brigade.
Yes, reminiscent of an episode of Friends where they all have to pivot to get the couch around. This woman trying to move a couch in and just got stuck.
Yep. So a woman, 53, who asked her surname not to be published, which
finally,
we shall
some
respect.
People get some dignity.
Some dignity.
Jeez.
She was moving into her basement with the help of her partner Todd when she became stuck. So the daughter found her mother trapped on the wrong side of the sofa and tried to help before giving up and deciding to film her predicament and said, "Is this daughter me?"
You would just film?
Like, here's the thing, baby Jessica down in the well, I'd have been like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And she's like, "I'm a baby." Obviously, like, no. And I'd be like, well, somebody's got to get this on TikTok. How else are we going to get her out besides raising an awareness campaign? You know,
this is a 23-year-old Gen Z girl who decided to film her mother stuck in a basement. Hey, I watched Barbarian on Halloween, and I don't fuck around with getting stuck in basements.
Everything should be above board.
Absolutely.
So the footage shows the sofa covering the entrance of the basement and the woman's hand sticking out a tiny gap between it and the stairwell. God.
It's Barbarian. All I'm visualizing is Barbarian.
No. Oh God, God, God. She was
I
there for
know. Sorry, that
3
movie really
hours.
fucked you up. I forgot.
Fucked me up so bad. If you haven't seen Barbarian, sprint to the nearest television. It's on HBO Go or HBO Go Max. HBO Max.
Mom, you wouldn't like it, so don't
Don't do it.
don't listen to Erica. She takes a lot of your suggestions, Erica.
I and that is like something I take response. I am honored that is entrusted in me, and so I will tamper my conditions with to take it or not to take it.
Yeah.
She was there for almost 3 hours. Her husband, an energy company manager, even made a hole in the wall trying to get the sofa into the basement, but made no avail.
Oh man.
3
I
hours?
mean,
No, I'm sorry. I'm stuck for 5 minutes. Call the fire department.
absolutely. What do you think's going to happen between now and 3 hours from now? Like, what the hell took so long?
People have, I mean, she could have, I don't even want to get into the things that could have happened. But yeah, bad. I don't care for it. So everyone, of course, flooded the comment section. When the daughter posted it to TikTok, it amassed 3 million views, and people just kept saying, 911, we didn't pivot.
Hilarious.
So, I mean, people, so funny. When the police do get called on you, it's always good to have, your credentials ready, though.
Yes. And this Florida man definitely was, ready to clown.
So from Outkick.com, Florida Man, a t-shirt available in the Trashy Podcast merch store.
Yes.
If you go to trashypod.threadless.com, you can buy your own Florida Man shirt. Anyway, quick plug. I mean, gotta keep the lights on. Anyway.
Hello. What do you think, these microphones run for free?
Florida man told police officers to call the FBI because he's allowed to carry meth.
Florida man arrested on Wednesday, found in possession of methamphetamine. All that checks out. But during the arrest, he told the officer, "You call the FBI because I have special permission to carry meth."
The man, who's 50, was loitering near the wooded area close to a business when he was approached by a sheriff's deputy. He consented to a search during the encounter with the deputy, which is when you say, absolutely not, I'd like to speak my lawyer. No, do not consent for a personal search, sir. Anyway.
I love that the publication specifies that he was loitering.
Yes.
This guy was loitering. Mm. And then, so you would like to search me? Yeah. Absolutely. I have nothing to hide except perhaps a small baggie containing a gram of crystal substance that tested positive for methamphetamine and was found in a pack of cigarettes. Well,
but he had a license to carry it, he said. After he was read his rights, the man demanded that the deputy make a couple of phone calls. One of those to the FBI and the other to the St. Petersburg Police Department.
Which was not the cops that were arresting him?
No, those were the sheriffs. So
I see.
Pensacola County Sheriff's Department. So he's saying, you guys need to get your wires all checked because the St. Petersburg Police Department know, the FBI knows, but you county cops don't know what the hell you're talking about.
So, was he allowed to carry meth?
It appears not.
I see. You know what? I appreciate the confidence.
I do too.
You miss 100% of the swings you don't take, as they say.
It said Wayne Jordan, the best basketball hockey player of all time.
Wayne Jordan. Wow.
Wayne Gretzky or Michael Jordan. I can't remember which one of them said it, but people I think attribute it to the other. Yeah, I think people say both of those, but it's Wayne Gretzky who actually said it, right?
I think.
Some hockey players yelling that. I mean, I know, but people say, I think it's like one of those things where it's like Mark Twain said, and it's like, no, he didn't. That's from Cheers. that was written in 1983. Like, what are you talking about? But, yeah.
As Abraham Lincoln once said, sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
Absolutely. Speaking of, where everybody knows your name, My Bologna has a first name.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't remember the rest of the song. Is it Oscar Meyer?
Maybe. I feel like either way, we don't have the rights to sing it. I'm afraid that we could get a strike against us if we tried to sing it. So let's just go on to our next story from the charlotteobserver.com.
I have a little bit of an issue with this story because I think that it's pretty like, I'm an open book on this podcast. So the fact that we're doing a story about me is kind of bullshit.
Okay. Well, Cass, I didn't know if I could get it past you. So I had to put it on the dock. Okay.
No, you caught me as a 32-year-old US citizen. I tried entering Texas at the Paso del Norte border crossing in downtown El Paso, according to US Customs and Border Protection, and I was found with something.
A whopping 769 pounds of bologna and cheese seized from 2 vehicles. So you had an accomplice.
I did.
Who's driving the other car?
Girl, you know it was you.
Oh, damn it. I know. All right, guys, we're so sorry. We tried to smuggle 484 pounds of bologna and 285 pounds of cheese into the US.
We just have a big party. We have a big party, a big charcuterie. Is
the charcuterie tray.
Okay. I mean, like, look, the worst thing you can do when setting up the right charcuterie is underbuy what you need.
Oh, God. So help me if there's gaps and then you have to spread, like, you have to put like a spread of honey or like fig. Like a spread of fig,
fucking sprig of rosemary, bitch. I can't eat that.
I can't put a piece of cheese on it, or I'm chucking the whole thing.
Oh man! So it was all right, fine. We'll admit it. It wasn't us.
It wasn't us, but it sounds like something we would have done.
It definitely feels right. It feels on brand. But there was a border officer noticing some nervousness during the routine interview. Well, I'd be nervous too if I had 484 pounds of bologna that I needed to get into a fridge stat.
Yep. 44 rolls of Mexican bologna. It was hidden in his toolbox of the driver's truck and under a blanket on the truck floor. Man, you got to tape some of it to your body, right? Like there's got to be some under your sweatshirt, you dum-dum.
Just be fucking cool, man. Sounds like it was hidden well enough. He was just sweating, getting the meat sweats because he probably previously had 485 pounds.
Yes,
but he's gotten the snacks.
This man isn't going to be in charge with the meat cartel because he's a little light on the load.
Oh man.
Can you imagine losing a pinky for 1 pound of bologna? Because you're like, the order was for 485 pounds.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got hungry. I'm sorry. This is so good. I love charcuterie. A side note. Have you been seeing this come up online more and more? The butter boards?
No.
You haven't heard of this?
No. What's going on?
So gone are the days of a classic charcuterie or a cheese board. Mm-hmm. Now people are creating butter boards. So they put butter all over, a wood board and put like some edible flowers or garlic or whatever the fuck they want on it. And then they just serve it like the board and people just dip bread into it. And
I'm seeing this.
It's like it's the new like kind of Midwest white lady thing to do, and I feel like if in first glance you're like, oh, that's kind of a nifty idea, and then you think about it longer and you go, okay, so after the party when you're cleaning up, who's cleaning up the butter board? And also, do you want people's greasy ass fingers like that close to like, I don't know. It's just like, that's going to get screwed up so fast and then it's going to look bad.
Sometimes I think my hobbies are frivolous. Like if we're headed into some type of like society deconstruction or like an apocalypse. But then I think, well, then there's the butterboard lady and I've got like a 1-up on her. That's like what if we're like picking teams on like who can survive. And I'm like, well, I can do this and this. And she's like, if we come across some cows and make butter, I could make a butter board for the mutants. And it's like, pick me over her, like.
You're like, some guy out there named like Dallas is yelling for his wife, Brooklyn Danielle, in the other room. Are you ready, Brooklyn Danielle? Our guests will be here soon. I'm just perfecting the peaks on the butter board. You would know that if you helped ever, Dallas.
I work 6 days a week to put this goddamn house on the block.
No, I think you have a good representation of Dallas. I think Dallas jumps to violence quick. He's probably pretty aggressive.
He does. And Brooke's just like, and making butter boards, just dreaming about the life she could have had if she'd have married, Chad. She's just
totally
spread the butter thinner.
Or if she would have just, graduated high school and didn't give birth to their daughter, Oakland Paisley.
Spelled with Y's the whole way through, though.
And their little son, Dakota.
With a Y. All right. Speaking of babies, let's get into our next story from yourtango.com.
Sorry to anyone who has any of the names that I just listed. It's a goof. Get over it. I guess that's a bad apology, huh? Sorry, get over it.
Sorry, we didn't make the population 8 billion. You did, So
Nick Cannon did.
You and Nick Cannon.
Whoo! All right. So yes, speaking of babies, Nick Cannon, I don't know, pregnant ladies.
Pregnant mom who was invited to her own baby shower wonders if she's wrong for being upset.
This is from the subreddit. Your Tango, yes, as Erica said, but also taken from the subreddit of the Am I the Asshole, which we love. We love that Reddit.
Love a YTA. Love just disclaiming. First sentence, you're the asshole. And then they go, no, let me explain. I'm also a Nazi who doesn't believe in global warming. And it's like, no, yeah, you're still the asshole. But they're like, but they didn't bring a hostess gift. And you're like, well, maybe they're the asshole.
Okay, so this is from a woman, says, my boyfriend and I have been living together for 4 years. Starting over. My boyfriend and I have been together for 4 years. We lived separately. He was 30 and lived with his parents. I was 31 and lived with my 6-year-old. We had a baby on September 14th. Baby shower was scheduled sometime in August, and her boyfriend's aunt told the woman that the shower was only for him, his male relatives, and male friends. However, she realized that her boyfriend's aunt lied, because the boyfriend's mother, female cousin, and aunt also attended as well.
She said I wasn't allowed to come. If it were a men-only baby shower, why were there women there? She questioned.
So she was like, wow, weird vibe to not be invited to a baby shower for a baby that I'm literally carrying right now.
Yeah. So she's like, I feel like as if he should have stood up for me. He didn't show up to many of the baby appointments except for 2 of them.
Because he hadn't defended her when it came to this baby shower. Like he was just basically like, I'm not throwing it. It's not my control.
Yeah. So the one appointment he showed up to was when they found out the gender. It was her birthday, and he had to leave shortly after because he's spending the day with his mom. Ooh.
Well, you might be the asshole simply for being with a guy like this for 4 years.
Yeah. So basically, the woman said the boyfriend told her that his aunt was throwing the baby shower without inviting. Hadn't been done out of spite, and then it was supposed to be the guys only. But then people showed up, the family, but didn't defend him to his mother. So it's like, sounds like you may be marrying this man's mother as well, and that's probably not going to work out.
There was also a 3-hour glucose test that he attended. That was another appointment, but he was on the phone the entire time talking to his mom. This is a lot of red flags, lady.
Lining up the flags. Yeah, I say not the asshole for being upset, and you should probably work out a nice co-parenting situation with his mother, because that's who you're going to be co-parenting with.
Oh, what a nightmare. We have an update, a trashy update.
Yes.
So we covered a story a little while ago about a lady who went to a conference and then claimed that at that conference she met her soulmate. I think that they exchanged a lot of like prolonged eye contact, and then they had this like great night together, et cetera, et cetera. She ended up leaving her husband of 14 years. That was what we had covered prior. The update is this soulmate who she left her husband in life for ghosted her ass.
Damn, it's almost as if I mean, this is like an episode of The White Lotus. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's almost as if like good vibes aren't enough to leave your partner for forever. You got a
Yeah, I
dose of
think
what the grass was, and it ain't greener, you know.
no, no. But I bet her ex-husband's laughing, or
You know
he's
who
grateful and he's like not, he can never go on without her. Who's to say? People are wild.
people are wild. Yeah, that's true. You know who's not laughing? That's for damn sure. The man from our next story from Insider.com. A man in China was hospitalized after he ate a whole crab live to take revenge for his daughter after it had pinched her. That'll show it.
This guy is a ride or die for his kid.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly. So he's 39-year-old man, got seen by doctors at a hospital for severe back pain about 2 months ago after he swallowed this crab. Doctors like, why did you eat a live crab? And he was like, I wanted to take revenge for my daughter. Duh, idiot.
I mean, honestly, like some people, this is like a movie. He's like, I'd set the world on fire. It started with a crab, but then when she got betrayed by her husband, maybe like, yeah, this is the origin story. Okay, this is a movie. So this is what happens when she's little. The dad eats a crab live for her because it bit her in the stream. It pinched her with a small little grabber. So he put it in his mouth for revenge. And then we cut to she's a grown up. She's married. She has her own children. But her husband, he's a no good. He's in with the mob and he completely betrays their family, right?
Yeah.
And he goes full John Wick on this guy because it bit his daughter. It's the same thing. He's like, why'd you do it? And he's like, I wanted to take revenge for my daughter. Those are the last words.
I love it. I love this. I think it's really stupid, but a lot of things we talk about on the show are really stupid and I love them. And I think that, get someone who will eat a crab for you.
Truly, that is love. Ooh. So he went to the doctor with some pain in his chest, abdomen, liver, and digestive systems. And the doctor was asking him all sorts of questions like, have you eaten any live game? Have you eaten anything, strange? And eventually the wife was like, you going to mention the goddamn live crab you ate?
Yeah, so this thing was just fucking him up on the inside. And because he had they took blood tests. He had 3 parasitic infections from eating this live crab.
So live crab,
don't eat things out of a river.
No, almost anything.
Yeah.
Crab is typically cooked in China. It is sometimes served raw but marinated in alcohol, earning the nickname drunken crabs. So he was like, I'll just take a shot of whiskey and I'll eat this crab and do the same, right?
Live crab and chaser.
Honestly, that's like a, like surf, turf. What's the one for air? This guy did it all. He just mostly stuck to the surf though.
Surf, turf, and air. You're right. Is there one for?
There needs to be a name for whatever's because it's like those buffets, surf and turf, all you can eat. Oh yeah, well I got birds at mine, motherfucker. Like now I'm the winner. That's how you win the buffets. Is you figure out a name.
Surf, turf, and sky is what it's called.
Surf, turf, and sky. Yeah, surf, turf, and sky. Come on down to Trashy's big old surf, turf, and skies buffet. A live crab on the menu.
Speaking of alcohol.
Oh yeah.
We have a story sent in by Adam Cantley and Tina Curry herself.
Wow. A power couple, if I've ever heard of one.
No kidding. From CNN.com. And this is from real life journalism too. There's a Texas woman who was arrested after smuggling an endangered species spider monkey in a box that she claimed held beer, which it's already kind of a tedious task to, be traveling with alcohol. So it's like she could have chosen just about anything else.
So when she told the U.S. Border Patrol it was beer, it was actually a little endangered spider monkey that she'd planned to sell, not even to keep. Oh, what a dirtbag.
What a dirtbag. 20-year-old woman.
I'm not excusing I'm not excusing smuggling endangered animals if you're keeping them. I'm just saying
oh yeah, I mean having
there's
a
hierarchy
as a pet is a different type of dirtbag.
Yes. There's a hierarchy of dirtbaggery and
yeah.
Oh my gosh. So she pled guilty to smuggling the wildlife without declaring it and invoicing it, fleeing an immigration checkpoint after a months-long investigation. She's like, gotta go.
Gotta get my beer back.
Mm.
Yeah, so they noticed a wooden box, holes inside her car when she was going through Border Patrol. She was like, oh, it's beer. The beer needs to breathe. But they opened it. They found a spider monkey. And they were like, you got to go to this line. And she was like, no, I don't. And just took off. Bye-bye. Later. Yeah. And then, did what anyone else would do and start posting online to be like, hey, any for sale spider monkey.
Use a burner, you dum-dum. That was her own phone number.
Did she really? Oh my
God.
Yeah,
that's how they found her, was she listed her phone number.
You know what? Like, I know it's like really jumping to the next story so fast, but it's just so like, what a power couple, her and this Missouri man that we're about to talk about.
Honestly, if they would have just met up, I mean, this would have been the new Bonnie and Clyde.
According to NewYorkPost.com, a Missouri man writes a demand note while robbing a bank, but what does he use for a piece of paper? His birth certificate.
Oh, and what accessories did he have on?
An ankle monitor from an earlier offense.
The man, 30 years old, pled guilty to robbing a Bank of America branch in Springfield last summer. He said he did it to prove a point to his lover, though it's unclear what he was trying to make. Maybe they do know each other.
Can you even believe some people, like, they must get like horny just getting caught. Like, this just, I can't figure out. Sometimes when people do things that I really can't put my finger on why they would ever do it, I just have to assume it's a sex thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
And this kind of was because, he was proving a point to his lover by being like, I'll rob a bank and I'll let them know exactly who I am.
He only
give me my birth certificate.
Yes, give me. Do you have any scraps of paper? No. He only sold $754. And he said, the note said, give your money now. Don't say anything. I have a partner outside. Maybe that wasn't a threat. Maybe that was just like, hey, if you are, into stuff, we could do a threesome real quick. I've got a partner outside.
For $754, we could be doing some sex stuff.
I mean, should I be a lawyer? Look at me, just coming up with criminal defenses.
You shouldn't be a lawyer. And also, I think it's as good a time as any to remind everyone listening, Erica and I are not lawyers, and everything that we say is not advice. And except like maybe what we're hoarding, that's advice. And everything is alleged and blah blah blah. And this is a comedy podcast, so get over it.
Oh man. So as he drove away from the bank, he saw police cars responding to the robbery, causing him to become scared. So he threw the money out of the truck along with his birth certificate and ID.
What a clown.
So he'd stolen his roommate's truck to do it. And so he texted her that that her truck was stolen and she should listen to the police scanner.
What? This guy sounds like drama.
Yeah.
So yes, next he went on Facebook Live.
Close. He told the authorities that him and his lover had gotten to an argument that day and that he had robbed the bank to prove a point.
And they were like, okay.
I've gotten into fights that bad.
You have the right to remain silent. And he was like, no need.
No,
I did it.
And you need to tell her I did it so I win the argument.
I mean, he could go to jail for like 20 years for this.
Yeah.
What's the point?
So, and that's what's crazy. They have his photo on the surveillance. Then it was confirmed that he was there through the GPS tracking on his ankle monitor.
Oh boy.
Come on. I mean, we can't write. I have an idea, but we can't do it. But oh my goodness.
Maybe his lover is just 3 hots in a cot.
Oh,
ever think about that?
I like that. Yeah.
He's in love with the game, man. He's in love with the machine, and he just wants to get back into prison. He said, well, how can I get back into prison? I have an idea. Let me
Mhm.
take my birth certificate, try to rob a bank with it, throw it out the window, and then blame it on a lover.
You know what I'm going to say, Cass? And I can't believe you haven't said it.
What?
You know what this man sounds like?
What
A
does he
time
sound like?
traveler. Why
Holy
else would he have
shit.
to rob this bank in such a stupid way? Get rid of his identification so he can make the time jump, right? Like this guy's a time traveler.
Holy shit.
The bank to
The
prove a point.
tryptophan.
Yes.
The tryptophan from the turkey has slowed down my brain. I didn't even see it.
Yes, when he says he had to prove a point, that's a point in the future or the past of this. Yes, this man is a time traveler.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You're right.
You
Of
sleep
course
at the
his
wheel,
lover's in the
Cass.
future.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
You
Holy
sleep
shit.
at the wheel, Cass. I can't believe it.
Truly, I can't believe it. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. What's something stupid? What's something stupider than me not catching on that that guy was a traveler?
Running a marathon?
Good answer. From the HuffingtonPost.com. Chain smoking marathoner finishes in under 3.5 hours, and he's done it before.
Nicknamed Uncle Chin, the 50-year-old runner finished the race in 574th place, beating nearly 1,000 others.
So marathon runners, a dedicated bunch. They fine-tune their breathing to maximize oxygen, yada, 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 26.2-mile race, blah, blah, blah. This guy is a 50-year-old Chinese man who decides to take a more leisurely approach, and he chain smoked his way through the marathon in China in under 3.5 hours. Pretty crazy.
That's wild. I just love it. They've got photos of him just chugging away.
The
Man.
vibe of this is to say, like, you know, that kind of stubbornness of like people being like, you really need to do this differently. And he goes, no, this is what works.
Yep.
What works, I don't breathe right if I'm not breathing in cigarette smoke. I get more oxygen by doing that. Trust me.
Yep. Have you ever heard of, this is extreme, have you ever heard of the Barkley marathons?
No.
Okay, this is the most insane thing I've watched multiple videos about it.
Okay.
So this old man has his own marathon. And only 40 people, men and women, get to run it every year. So it's elite runners from all over, but there's so many strange conditions. So basically you run it forward and then backwards several times. You register for the race. You have to mail an application, which is subject to change every year. It's a non-refundable registration fee of $1.60, and it's a secret. So there's no official race website. If you're accepted, you receive a letter of condolence from the old man Cantrell who organizes it. You have to pay another fee. Condolences, because it's so hard. I'm about to get into what makes it so crazy.
Okay.
Racers are also expected to pay another fee, which often takes the form of an article of clothing such as a white button-up shirt or socks. He picks up the items to the race every year. He just wants to go shopping. So if you're the first-time runner, he asks you bring a license plate from the state or country that you're a part of. The course is not well known outside those who have attended the loop. So it's in the Frozen Head State Park. And so basically what he does is you must complete 5 loops of this course. Each distance is about 20 miles. The runners say it's roughly a marathon each time, basically. But the elevation ranges to 60,000 feet to down. You gain 60,000 feet in total running it.
Whoa.
At the beginning, runners, you're subjected to thorns, briars, unpleasant plants, because it's off trail, on trail. The race date takes place the first weekend of April, although sometimes it's been run in March to throw off spectators because they don't want people kind of knowing about it.
Oh
but
my God,
it's crazy. So this old man it's just him just being like, I just wanted him to run it. So how it works,
why do they have to do it so many times?
Because it's that hard. It's his thing. So the race starts sometimes between midnight and noon, usually on a Saturday. However, you're never told when it'll officially start. The only indication they receive at the start time is that Cantrell, the old man, blowing on a conch shell, which could come in the middle of the night to signify that the race will start in exactly 1 hour. The runners line up at the yellow gate of the campground, and when he lights a cigarette, that starts the race along with the clock. You have
Oh my
60 hours
God.
to complete it. It's a hard cutoff.
And it's 100 miles basically. If
It's
it's
100
5
miles,
times.
but the loop, like you never know what the loop is. Each loop has to be done in about 12 hours to run it. Runners must touch the yellow gate as they leave each loop. It's literally insane. So there's no bibs that indicate you're running it. There's little checkpoints that he has. Your bib number is a page number you need to rip out of that book. So he puts little books along the way of this is you're on the right trail, and if you've hit it, you need to pull out your number from this little booklet that he makes.
Oh
There's
my
no
God.
GPS or any type of technology for you to have done it. It's just insane. It's just truly this old man's like, you know what I'd like? I'd like a bunch of young folk to run around. And but I've watched a documentary about it, and it's like him just lighting a cigarette, and they're like, time to get ready. It's crazy.
You know,
I
it
love it.
like the fact that like things like base jumping and free soloing exists.
Yeah.
This somehow makes sense. Like that there's just some people who need to do the most. And
Yeah.
what's crazier than like letting this kooky
Yeah.
old man
Yeah.
make you jump through 1,000 hoops and special things just to buy him clothes and run 100 miles.
Yeah. Oh, and if you drop out, taps is played on the bugle to symbolize that you're tapping out of the race.
Oh my God.
It's
I'm gonna look
truly
into
Google
this.
the Barkley Marathon and watch videos and just see this old man that's just like, yeah, just thought I'd like him running. it's
So
insane.
funny.
I love it. It's truly insane. But yeah, I want to see this man run it, you know?
Oh yeah, I bet he never does.
Yeah. 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 Say that again. Say that ringleader.
Quite the ringleader.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of ringleaders, Cass, are you ready?
I'm ready, girl.
Well, it is time for the dumpster fire of the week.
Oh my God. Thanksgiving may be over, but stories about turkeys sure aren't.
This comes to us from theguardian.com. He kind of ramps them up, they say, about Kevin, the ringleader of turkeys that terrorize a Massachusetts town.
City of Woburn, which is near Boston, becomes subjected to attacks and intimidations by a group of wild turkeys, especially Kevin. You know what? I don't think that these turkeys are terrorizing you that much if you took the time to name one of them Kevin. But I digress.
Well, we need to talk about Kevin.
Oh God.
So, millions of turkeys across the U.S. justifiably fear for their safety, of course. But here in Woburn, in the northwest part of Boston, people have been subject to a barrage of attacks and imitation by a group of these 5 wild turkeys, and the situation forcing some to take in improvised weapons and residents reporting being trapped in their homes.
So they're led by a male bird named Kevin who arrived 2 years ago. And initially they were docile birds, but as time passed, they have become even more pugnacious. Good word. What on earth does it mean? Pugnacious.
Eager or quick to argue, quarrel or fight.
Ooh, I feel like I'm kind of pugnacious.
I'm
sometimes.
pugnacious. Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that. We should make a shirt. Ooh.
So they don't let you out of your house. They peck at cars. They stop traffic. They go after kids on bikes. If you're walking, jogging, or anything like that, they'll come for you.
So the population of wild turkeys has ballooned in Massachusetts in recent years. The birds, which were reintroduced to the state in the 1970s, sleep in trees or even on lampposts at night. But during the day, the gang of 5 spends most of its time on Tolson's lawn.
Tolson being this woman who was being interviewed for this, not like a park or anything.
Yeah.
They're black to brownish bronze with white wing bars, blackish brown tail feathers, and bluish gray to red head. I mean, that just sounds like a turkey.
Yeah, I was gonna say, also, I couldn't point him out of a lineup. You know, this feels like she's just kind of stereotyping. I don't care for that
honestly,
one
just
bit.
tell me if you see 5 turkeys at once, get out of there.
Get out.
So people will leave brooms and rakes at their front door so that they can get them out if the turkeys are there. She says some days it's really frustrating because they'll get like an Amazon package and she can't go get it because the turkeys are there. Just wait until like nighttime.
Oh my God.
Like, that's crazy. What a bunch of bullies.
She knows the routine, so she just can kind of work around them, she says.
Yeah, so like Erica said, 1970 is when turkeys were reintroduced to Massachusetts. It was a group of biologists that trapped 37 birds in New York State and released them into Southwest Massachusetts. And then they were just like thriving. They were loving the East Coast life. So now there's 30 to 35,000 turkeys in Massachusetts.
I have a theory.
Okay.
Is this New York trying to like is this like biological warfare by the state of New York onto Massachusetts? They're like, oh how nice. Well, oh yeah, we brought you turkeys back. Here, have fun. Meanwhile, at the secret headquarters in New York State, they're just sitting there watching this town, being like, yes, Kevin, yes, keep them in their homes. Yes, don't let them come to the city. Maybe this is an anti-tourism diabolical plot. Keep people in Massachusetts out of New York because they can't leave their homes.
So that's like a 50-year long game of trying to just hope that these turkeys eventually become digs.
Maybe Kevin was activated, like he's like a sleeper cell.
Yes. So Mass Wildlife says that you don't need to hesitate when it comes to scaring or threatening a bold, aggressive turkey. Loud noises, swatting with a broom, water spraying from a hose. Like, don't feed them ever. Keep bird feeders off the ground. But like, for real, don't let the turkeys intimidate you. You can, if you see a turkey, like, don't be afraid to just fuck them up.
There's a fact sheet that they had to distribute to the residents called Living with Wild Turkeys. That's the funniest thing to. I'm sorry. I've never been terrorized by a bird like this, so I understand. This makes me think of the staircase and the owl theory. Someone's going to die, and it's going to become the turkey theory.
So Kevin definitely seems to amp up everybody. Like the female turkeys are more mellow and not so territorial, but like he amps them up. And actually, when Kevin's not around, they will just sort of mind their own business and walk away from you. I think maybe someone should just like take out Kevin. If he's the problem, we can't do this with our government. You should cut that.
You're calling for vigilante justice on Kevin?
Look, dude, if that's the problem, if these turkeys are chill, minus when Kevin's around, Kevin sounds like a bully, and bullies need to be handled.
Who's going to stand up to Kevin?
I think
maybe they need to introduce another set of wild birds.
No.
And then it could be like the Jets and the Sharks.
Exactly. See, and we can't have a Jets and a Sharks situation with the wild turkeys in Massachusetts, or these people will never leave their house,
Well, then it's just the turkeys fighting each other, not the people.
Oh, but it's like the cartels, Erica. It affects everyone.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Ugh, damn. There's coyotes in Los Angeles. There's coyotes in Los Angeles, and especially in my old neighborhood, Silver Lake. And I would always tell my roommates, "Oh, coyotes are way more scared of you than you are of them. They're just basically little bully dogs. No big deal. Keep your dogs on a leash. No big deal." One night, I was in Silver Lake. I parked my car right in front of my house. I was on my phone, as one does, and I look up. There's a pack of 3 coyotes circling my car.
Oof.
Like making the rounds, not like just waiting on me, just like circling, looking at me like, "You gonna come out, bitch?" It was terrifying. And at that point I was like, "Oh, these are city coyotes. These aren't country coyotes." The city ones aren't afraid of you.
The city ones are like, it's like the movie The Warriors. Like,
yes,
it's
come out
not
to play.
Chill. There's signs all over Burbank like that they all just advise what to do when you see a coyote, and according to the city of Burbank, the recommendation is to scream, "Go away, coyote." Apparently that gets them every time.
The secret phrase, they're on to us.
"Go away, coyote."
Oh my God, I love it. I love it.
In the fetal position while you have your head cradled.
crying.
Go away, Coyote.
Oh my
What are you
goodness.
hoarding? I
Oh,
gotta know.
I'm hoarding a movie. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It also made me cringe so hard, which I think is my new favorite genre of thing where I just go, oh, I'm so uncomfortable. But it's called The Triangle of Sadness. Have you heard of it?
I think I have heard of this.
Okay. So it's a, it's a black comedy, and I believe it's from a Swedish director, and it's got Woody Harrelson is somebody that you may, super, but Dolly DeLeon, Harris Dickinson, but it's basically a male model and his girlfriend, female model, get on a luxury cruise, and it's like it's a eat the rich kind of thing. The cruise goes down. That's all, it's in the trailer. It's a luxury cruise, a super yacht, and basically the freaking the upset, it's just a commentary on class and money and wealth, and it's crazy. It's crazy. I can't recommend it enough. I laughed, I cringed.
What's it on?
You can buy it on iTunes. It's in movie theaters right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
But we watched it on iTunes. It was in the box office, but I would say rent it at home so you can pause it and just go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Because it made me so uncomfortable at times. And I'm never going to
buzz with this one.
Yes.
I believe. Yeah. Some awards buzz.
Yeah. Yep. Like I'm nowhere near wealthy enough to have ever been in this, but I was like, what if they revolt?
They?
Like, what if the poors revolt? It was, yeah. But I'm the poor. But it was still just watching it. You go, ah. Anyway, it was
not the poor.
Not the poors. Yeah, it's really good though. I would recommend watching it.
All right, cool.
Now, what are you hoarding?
I don't know if like I'm an idiot or if the algorithm has just got to me finally, but Netflix has a lot of mid to late 90s, early 2000s like movies on there right now that I don't recall being there. I've been watching a lot of movies. Like I haven't been watching TV really at all, just tons and tons of movies. And so I don't have one in particular to recommend. I just more recommend taking a look-see at that section of Netflix and seeing if anything there floats your boat. I watched 17 again, Matthew Perry, Zac Efron, Leslie Mann, like why? I don't know, but I watched it. I watched Rat Race.
Yes, that's a good one.
Which, I haven't seen that since I was a kid. And I was like, holy smokes, there's jokes galore that would have went just right over my head that don't now. And the Rat Race starring Seth Green, Rowan Atkinson, Brendan Freight is his name. It's not Brendan Fraser. But I think this guy's also named Brennan. Oh, jeez.
I'll find it. It wasn't
Breckenmeyer.
Breckenmeyer.
Okay, but you knew who I was talking about.
Yes. I one time we were valeting our car at the same time. And I was picking my car up and he was, waiting on his as well. And he was with two very attractive young ladies, much younger than him, I might say, and trying to orchestrate the both of them to come home with him. And neither were super into it. But he was working overtime at the old valet stand by Birds. And I was just sitting there going, yeah, I'm just waiting for my piece of shit little Volkswagen Bug. Do you want me to come home?
I said,
I'll go hang out.
Heard of Robot Chicken? Anyway. So watch Rat Race. I watched Notting Hill. Watched Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I don't know. It's been a weird few days. I've just even into last week while I was working, just kind of like been feeling out movies. So I guess I'm hoarding. Like we've been in such an era of television. And I'm certainly not suggesting you see anything new, but take a trip down memory lane, watch Wedding Crashers. It's all on Netflix right now. see how an hour and 45 minutes of a story that you kind of remember treats you. It might feel a little bit better than television right now, because that's how it's been feeling for me.
Okay, a little comfort. Yeah,
Absolutely. What are you throwing away?
Yeah, I'm throwing away if you have to ID someone, for purchasing alcohol or on any occasion. Don't comment on the state that they're in if it's different from where you are.
Oh God. Something that only happens in Oklahoma, probably, or anywhere outside of California, really. But
yeah. Oh, California. Oh, wow. I mean, the amount of discourse that me and Winston had to have while we were in Oklahoma about being from California to people that saw our IDs and, oh, y'all from around, just the whole, California, that seems, so expensive there, I bet. And I was like, I'm gonna get a fake ID. This is a joke, knock on wood. This is a joke, podcast. But I was like, I'm gonna get a goddamn fake ID just for when I go to Oklahoma that says I live there.
They hate us because they ain't us. You know what I'm saying? Like, people have some opinions about California. Like,
just
every time I go to Colorado, they have I've seen people with bumper stickers being like, "Hey, Californians, leave, get out." And Taylor even makes the joke, when we get our IDs checked somewhere else, just here on vacation, not moving. And the people laugh appreciatively of that. And I'm like, yeah. Oh, we'll go, why? Because you don't like good economy? Fuck off.
I know. It's wild.
Get over it.
I had a waitress who, gave a lot of commentary about being from California, but then she said, sorry if I'm a little loopy. I took a bunch of Benadryl. And we said, okay, no big deal. And she's like, again, our waitress about to serve us food. She's like, I broke out in a bunch of hives from the vape I was smoking.
Yeah, again, but unnecessary. California is weird and expensive.
But please tell me more about the hives you broke out into while you're about to serve me food.
Disgusting.
Anyway, what are you throwing away?
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you. This was originally something I was gonna hoard, but as I was thinking about hoarding it, I was like, maybe I should throw it away instead. So I'll just put that as a disclaimer.
Okay.
Do-it-yourself Christmas decor, okay, is sometimes achievable and sometimes looks nice. However, I guess I'm still throwing it out because other times it's just the internet trying to trick you, So I made a wreath, right? And it's all of Christmas ornaments, like baubles. Aww. I got the bauble. Yeah, it looks good. But girl, this took me 2.5 hours and a lot of hot glue. My back was hurting after. All the while, I could have just, because I probably paid, I don't know, $17 for all the equipment together to make it. Mm-hmm. I don't think that an ornament wreath probably would have run me more than $30. So I guess does it feel like an achievement because I made something? Sure. But first of all, not every Dollar Tree is the same. So everyone's like, hey, here's a Dollar Tree hack. The fuck it is, dude. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm throwing out DIY Christmas decor simply based on the fact that I think that there is a unrealistic pressure when you see ladies who make butter boards also put out TikToks about all this DIY Christmas decor that they are able to create using 8 things from the Dollar Tree. And it's that's just, it's not real. The internet's not real.
This just in, Cassandra hates Bob Cratchit and his poor family's homemade Christmas decorations.
Well,
that's how the internet will take that.
Mm-hmm. I think give it a shot. If you think you can do it, do it. I mean, I did it. I did the wreath. I'll send a picture and we can post it on Instagram. I made it. It happened, but it wasn't fucking easy. And remember what your time is worth, Yeah.
Yes.
Remember what your time is worth. You're not always saving money if something took you 4 hours to do.
Yes.
Now, if you love it, if you're like, this is fun, then absolutely do it. But I didn't think after a while that was very fun. I was like, oh my God, this is so much glue. And what if this looks bad? So anyways, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Iconic Erica Curry on Instagram and on TikTok at Iconic Erica Curry, as well as at trashytrashypodcast.threadless.com all day. I'll just be there. I'll just be hanging out if you want to pop over, anytime. Anyway, where can the people find you, Cassandra?
At Cass Cardiness on Instagram and on TikTok, even though I don't really post on TikTok, but you're welcome to send me stuff. I love that. And you can also find me at trashytrashypod.threadless.com. I'll be there too, because we have some really good shirts, and I think you guys should go check them out and maybe grab one for yourself or for a loved one. You can find this podcast at Trashy Trashy Podcast on Instagram, on Twitter if it still exists, on TikTok, and trashytrashypodcast.com. We have a fantastic website, trashytrashypodcast@gmail.com. Both of those places are a great place to tell us why you're trash and send us stories. We love when you do that. We also really love when you guys leave us 5-star reviews. It helps us out a lot on wherever you listen to podcasts. Means the world, helps us grow, and you're a valued part of this podcast. Yes, even you listening, even you.
Yes, and thank you to our listeners in Chad for making us the #1 entertainment news podcast in the
in Chad, Africa.
for several days running. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah,
that ain't nothing.
Yep. Not that I'm not. I'm just saying, step it up everywhere else. Looking at you, Bulgaria. Looking at you, Northern Ireland and the UK. Hey, Cass.
What's going on, girl?
Stay garbage.
You stay garbage, girl.
I will. Bye-bye.
Bye.